Greetings guys, Jay Smith here. Welcome to the AskGolfNut channel. Welcome to episode 16 now. So hole 16 of From Stats to Strokes. The series which I've designed to try and make statistics a little bit more fun so you guys can understand better percentage shots when you're playing golf. And when it comes to time spent on YouTube, let's face it, a lot of people watch plenty of videos, try and get better technically, and the secret tip for this and the secret hack for that, where in true statements, better decision making can make a massive difference, far more than any kind of simple, weird and wonderful trick with grip, etc., because everybody is different. So the object is obviously trying to work out your own game and to see if you can make better choices. So the whole idea of this is to answer some questions. I'm going to post some questions, and then about 3 days from now I'll do a answer video, and then we see who gets the most points. This scored out of 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you just input, doesn't matter what your answer is, as long as you just input, you get automatically 1 point. Of course, when it comes to getting it absolutely spot on, you get 5, and anywhere in between you get obviously a range between those values. Obviously the whole idea is to try and score the most in throughout the holes. We're playing a Stapleford event, so we have hole 16. Technically after this one we've got 2 to go, depending on how big the gap between first and second place is. We'll get to the leaderboard in a sec, but first of all we really want to get onto the questions. Question. So let's just go. I have got the chat, as you can see, going on here, obviously coming on at a weird time in the afternoon, especially for the UK. Obviously everyone's at work, and potentially so is everyone in the US. So this is definitely going to be for the person who's going to rewatch this once it goes off of live and then onto replay. But obviously I've got the chat. If anyone wants to pop on, say hello, ask a question about the question, because there's three different questions a day. So it's going to be 2 questions, you're going to get a point for each, and then the third question I have got 3 answers for the third question to make 5. So you get a point for each one, depending if you get it or not. Simple as that. Right, so let's just see if we have got the chats going. Good, no problem with that. Happy days. Right, so again, if you want to put anything in the chat, you can do by literally just popping it into that little thing there. It will pop up. So if you want any clarification or any part of the question, by all means, pop it in there and then we will go through it. Right, here we go. Question 1. 22 to 30 handicap. What are the chances of you scoring a net 5 under for your handicap? You're a 22 to 30 handicap. What are the chances of scoring a net 5 under for your handicap? Yeah, a net, not gross, a net. Yeah, a net, not gross. That'd be a wow. That would be one heck of a day. What are the chances of you scoring a net 5 under your handicap? And this is going to be answered in the case of 1 in however many rounds. 2 rounds, 200 rounds, 2 billion rounds, 20 rounds, whatever number. I just said 2. Doesn't have to be 2. Obviously it's not 2. Well, it may be 2. What I'm saying is that's how you answer it. 1 in however many rounds you think. Again, I have got the chat up here. If you want any clarification, by all means, pop in there and ask the question. And then, of course, yeah, we'll clarify it. All right, so part 2, here we go. So this is part 2. 10% of golfers carry a club they use less than once in question mark rounds. So 10% of golfers carry a club they only use less than once in however many rounds. There you go. 10% of golfers carry a club they use less than once in however many rounds. There you go. Said it enough times, hopefully now it makes sense. So again, if anyone wants clarification, just pop onto the chat, ask the question about the question, and I'll quite happily answer it. Question 3. Question 3 of 3. You kind of get the idea. Part 3 says, if all par 3 and par 4s and par 5s were the same length, yep, Obviously, we play, let's say 18 holes, and they're split between however many of 3, 4s and 5s. They don't always differ, but obviously sometimes they do differ. Some are par 70, 71, 72, 73, 69, whatever it be. And they're made up of only 3 par 3s or 4 par 3s, or only 2 par 5s or 4 par 5s, or you kind of get the idea. However, if all par 3s and 4s and 5s were the same length, how long would each have to be on a par 72 golf course, so 4 par 3s, 4 par 5s, and the rest par 4s, for a 12 handicap golfer to score 72 on average, so effectively score par? Not for him, obviously that would be 84. Well, technically not, it'd be 87 if you go by the handicaps, as long, it don't matter. If all par 3s, 4s and 5s were the same length, how long would each have to be? How long would a par 3 have to be? All the par 3s, all the par 4s, and all the par 5s. How long would they have to be? That's why you get 3 points, because there's 3 different answers. How long would it each have to be on a par 72 golf course for a 12 handicap golfer to score level par, effectively? There you go. So, that is nice and easy, hopefully. If you need any clarification, by all means, pop into the chat now and put something. If there is nothing in the chat when it comes to any clarifications whatsoever, I'll assume everyone understands what they need to write, how they need to write it, and stuff like that. So the first one, very quickly, 22 to 30 handicap. That is your handicap. Just imagine you're a 22 to 30 handicap golfer. What are the chances of you scoring in net 5 under your handicap? And the answer is 1 in so many rounds. Yep, there you go. That's how to answer that one. Part 2 is 10% of golfers carry a club they only use less than once in question mark rounds. However many rounds you think. Yep. And part 3 is if all par 3, 4s and 5s were the same length, how long would each have to be? How long would the par 3s have to be, par 4s have to be, and par 5s have to be for a par 72 golf course? So we have 4 par 3s, 4 par 5s, and the rest par 4s, standard. For a 12 handicap golfer to score 72 on average, so par, effectively. There you go. And then obviously the third one is par 3s equal however many yards, par 4s equal however many yards, and par 5s would have to equal however many yards. That's the whole idea. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. Guys, if you just write cabbage for every single one, obviously you've input, thank you very much, and you'll just score 1 point anyway. So yeah, but the whole idea is to obviously do as best you can do, and all this is from ARCOS. So again, if you use ShotScope or anything else like that, which has slightly different metrics and how it works out slightly different, it will always be a fraction different this and a fraction different that. So it's all from ARCOS and available for all to find out should they spend enough time searching. If you just want to have a guess, by all means, why not? Right, so let's flick over to the all-important leaderboard to see how we're getting on, because obviously we've only got a few more to go, and so depending on how well everyone does on this one could quite easily mean that there could be one more to go, or yeah. Right, let's do it now. There you go. I'm trying to get it to a point where the low part of the leaderboard, where people basically just got involved for one episode and that's it. So of course they are locked down leaderboard, and of course if these people were just to have got involved a bit more, they would have been shot up the leaderboard, because 5 points every single round is quite a lot to gain. However, as you can see, we're getting to the nitty gritty here. It will flick over anytime now, and we have Niels in the lead at 68, Williams in 6 points behind at 62, and Aaron's in third place with 59, and Wastelands at 57, Ian's at 55, and Pete's at 55 also. And so you can see you've got 68, 62, 59. If second and third place, I forgot who's up there now. If second and third place don't do anything this round, and Niels at the top scores 5 points, I think that's going to be over. However, if Niels, if he's not listening, if he goes on holiday, completely forgets and doesn't put anything in there, and P2, P3 get 5 points, wow, nip and tuck. So it is all important that everybody makes sure because anyone who's, well, within, let's say 15 points, with only 3 to go, including this one, they're in with a chance. So anyone down to Mr. 2 first, Steve would have to, or be on count back if Steve at 53. You can't get the idea, but it's a bit of fun anyway. And now, obviously, when it comes to the back end of everything, I don't expect many answers now, because I'll be honest, at the start, or third of the way through, even half of the way through, it was important that everyone done as best they can do to answer, because again, with 5 points every single time, it doesn't take long to shoot up the leaderboard. Now we are at the nitty-gritty end, and yes, there are only a handful of people that are in the chance to win a custom fit set of irons of their choice from Sub 70 or 11 Golf. That's going to be the winning prize, which is going to be a heck of a prize, because obviously Sub 70 and 11 Golf make irons, and they make, well, irons, kind of hybrids. They make new driver as well, but it's irons. Sub 70 is the one. They make a boatload of irons of all different types. I'm hoping as time goes on to review more and more of them. But there you go. Right, so that's enough of that. Pete's just put on here, I'm literally reading there, question 1 is too often. That's the answer, is too often. It's not his answer though. So I'll put the up on here so you can see. Not too often. There you go. What the chance of scoring net 5 under your handicap? Not too often. Yes, you're right. It isn't often. However, there is. I won't give you the answer. Obviously, that would be daft. However, I will say this before I go. I will say this, that when it comes to the handicap system and how it is constructed, it has always been this case that you will always get greater variance on good and bad with the higher handicap than you will do the lower handicap. So when it comes to a net 5 under, if you are a 22, 30 handicap or 30 plus handicap, it is going to be easier for you to have one of those days that you're 5 under your handicap than it is a scratch guy. That is always the case. And so if you're scratch, 5 handicap, even 10 handicap, anything else like that, it is mighty difficult for you to be 5 under your handicap. Remember, if you're scratch, you're coming in 5 under your handicap. That is a mighty impressive day, and that is a round of your life, as opposed to the 30-something handicap, which won't have that same thing. So obviously that's not giving anyone, I'm not giving any information away. All I'm saying is, if this was for a scratch handicap or 5 handicap, the number, whichever it is, 1 in so many rounds, would be less. That's always the case. So that's why when you're in competitions, and some competitions split the handicaps, some competitions in certain places don't, never agreed with that one, because obviously you have got the potential for a higher handicap to come in with greater variance possibilities than you have a, say, Cat 1 golfer. So it's always more difficult for the better player. But there you go. So that's the whole idea. Right, so guys, unless you have anything else you want to add, then, well, what we'll do is we'll leave it now, and then I will give everyone 3 days. 3. There's like 3. There is another finger behind there. Yeah, 2D loveliness. 3 days to find out all of this as much as you can. If not, just answer for a bit of fun. Obviously, I would suggest that the people that are at the nitty-gritty end of the leaderboard, I'd spend some time to make sure you find these answers. However, if not, just have a bit of fun. Write down anything you think which is your best guess. There's nothing as a bad guess. I mean, again, you can write, as you say, what you want. Cabbage, if you want. You still score 1 point. Well, the funny thing is that you'd have scored 16 points already, or not already, but with this one, and you'd have got 16 points if you'd have just answered something absolutely random. Nothing to do with what we're doing. You'd have still scored 16 points. Right guys, thanks very much for watching as always. Again, we'll see each other for the answer from Stats to Strokes in 3 days time. Got another video coming out tomorrow as well. That will be, what we doing on that? I don't want to give that one away because that's ready, uploaded and scheduled to release anyway. So that will be at 3:30 tomorrow, which is now Monday. Members, remember, don't forget that we have a members only live stream tonight at 7 o'clock every single time we have on a Monday, and it's only the first Monday of every month that we are open all access. Hopefully my power can stay a bit more reliable this time, because last Mondays it was cut short after, literally cut short after about an hour or so. The power decided it wanted to, well, finish for the day. So guys, thanks very much for watching as always, and we'll catch everybody soon.